is an award-winning recording artist, singer, songwriter, and a published author. And he's got a new album coming out February 21st, appropriately called Now What? And he's here with us now. Tommy, thanks for joining us here at Our Kind of Music. How you doing, man?
I'm fine. How you doing, Blake?
I'm doing good. Doing good. You've had a lot of your songs recorded by other people, Todd Snyder, Jason Ringenberg, Dan Baird, Scott Kemper. That's just to name a few. Now,
yeah, no Tim McGraw, no Faith Hill.
That's good.
Well, good and bad, you might say. I've had some songs covered by cool artists. Let's say that. Well, not that Tim and Faith aren't cool. Hey, you know.
And what was Buffett the most recent one?
Yeah, the most recent and the most lucrative. Yeah.
How did you feel when you heard about that?
Really good. Really anticipatory.
Yeah.
Is that even a word? I don't know.
Because I had heard, just between you and me, of course, you let the cat out of the bag just a little bit too early on that one.
Oh, yeah. I watched them recording the song in the studio and tweeted it immediately. And it freaked out my manager. It freaked out the co-writer of the song, Will Kimbrough, and his entire family. They used to say it's not final till it's final. And I found out the etiquette on what to do and not do. I found out real fast. That afternoon I found out.
So you got in a little bit of trouble?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool. But it all came out good.
A little bit of trouble, often enough. It almost feels normal to me to be in a little bit of trouble.
Right. And the song was Nobody from Nowhere, which was off your second Daddy album with Will.
Right.
Okay. I thought it was cool that Buffett made it the opening track on his album Buffet Hotel. And I'm not mispronouncing that. It is Buffet Hotel.
Buffet Hotel, that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah. To make it the opening track.
It's track 1 on the Daddy record and track 1 on Jimmy's record as well.
That is so cool. That is so cool. Now, before we get to your new album, I wanted to talk a little bit about your previous album, There I Said It, because they tie together, don't they? And,
right, they do.
And with There I Said It, that was a career changer for you. And,
right.
And judging by the content of it, was that somewhat therapeutic for you just to get those songs down?
Yeah, the songs were just cries for help that I didn't ever intend to record. I thought when I was writing those songs, I thought my career was done. Really? I was washed up, hung out to dry. Yeah. My records hadn't been doing that well, and I hadn't been able to hit the concert trail like I wanted to so much because I don't draw people. And I just wound up writing these songs, or they just came coming to me, and I didn't know what I was going to do with them. And before I knew it, I was recording them with some friends of mine, and the album just sort of happened on its own. I didn't really intend to make another record. The songs were all about how it didn't make any sense to make another record. It wasn't no use. Who was going to listen to it?
Right.
And it wound up being far and away the biggest record in my career. And I discovered that just being honest in your songwriting and vulnerable really made a big difference. I'd never done that before. All my songs were clever third-person narratives or funny songs or riffs with a slogan. I'd never been bracingly honest before, and it opened a whole new door, songwriting-wise.
Those songs were, honest and just bearing your soul in a lot of the points.
Mm-hmm.
And that almost didn't get released. You were thinking of shelving it.
I almost pulled the record. I didn't think anybody wanted to hear me sing about being insecure and scared and financially, almost destitute. I didn't think anybody would want to hear about that. It turned out that's exactly what they wanted to hear.
Because,
but I almost
relate to it.
Put the record out. Yeah, they relate to it.
Yeah. No, it's a good thing you did release it, because that was a career changer for you, right?
Yeah, it was totally changing.
That was back in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And now between
5 short years later.
Yep, 5. But before that, you also published a book, The Lavender Boys and Elsie. Can you tell us real quick about that, about the synopsis of it?
It's letters back and forth between a closeted gay Civil War soldier and his sister back home in Clarksville, Tennessee. And it's the story of how the all-gay Confederate regiment, the Lavender Boys, got started, and how they were wiped off the history of all time at Pickett's charge at Gettysburg. It's I do everything I can to make it appear to be nonfiction, but it's totally fictional.
And how did that come to you?
I just started writing it as an exercise one day while I was working on another book. I didn't intend for it. It was one of those things. It was like the songs on there. I said it. I just found myself writing it and not knowing where it was coming from.
No, that's awesome. I haven't read it yet, but it's on my Amazon list. It's coming.
Yeah, good.
Because I want to read it, because I was just intrigued by the whole the concept of it. Writers that can do historical fiction. It's a combination of things. You're doing fiction, but you want it to be true, because there's people that are going to read it and go, well, that battle didn't take place then.
Yeah.
But
there's Civil War geeks that are going to bust you on that stuff.
Are you one of those?
Oh, yeah. I'm a closet Civil War history buff. Well, not closeted. I'm a history buff.
Not now as the book's out. Getting on to your new album, Now What? But let's start with the opening track. Play that treat. Too early for me. Play that cheap trick, play. Now, where'd that come from? And does that tie into the previous album?
I think that Play That Cheap Trick Play sort of goes along with Nice Day. The one on there, I said it about going swimming. It's about fatherhood. It's about the mundane realities of housework, and it's also about being on the road, getting $100 to play 3